up, y'all? So my spoiler came in, so I looked at it last night, but I'm gonna have to sit this out for a while because it comes coiled up, like pretty much like how the last spoiler I had on here was, and the spoiler that I currently have on the vet. But yeah, you basically get a snake. So I'm gonna lay this out. It's kind of cloudy, but I'm gonna lay it in the sun so the heat can kind of stretch it flat, and then I'll be able to work. So I'm gonna let this sit out here maybe like an hour or so, and then I'll be back. All right, so it's been about, I don't know, maybe an hour or so. Spoiler has flattened, so next up we gotta cut this thing. So I guess it goes, yeah, like this. Duh, cause all right. Flip this back up. So this is the brake light right here. It's a little red strip. Uh, yeah, so got to measure this out. This can actually be cut. So what I want to do is have the edge of this just like that, and then pull it all the way across. I'm gonna have to use two hands because this thing is moving a lot. But I'm gonna have to get this to line up like so. So I'm gonna tape this down, measure it out. I assume you can just cut wherever and this is still gonna work. I hope it is. But and this little cap right here, I don't know where I've been recording, but this comes off, so I just gotta cut this 3M right here so it'll be loose, slide the cap off, cut the spoiler, and yeah. Oh, and I gotta wash this trunk real quick because it is extremely dirty, if you can tell. So I'm gonna wash that real quick, and yeah, come back, slap this thing on here, see what we got. So I got this thing taped up here. This one is actually a lot shorter than the last one I had, the one I painted white. So, you know, that sucked. But it's once it's painted white, I guess it'll be subtle, which is kind of what I want. But as for a test, this is where we're at right now. So this is at the edge. This will have to be kind of angled a little bit so that line will match up with the line on the trunk, so it'll curve right. As you can see, this is way too far, so this is where we got to cut. Here's the cap, so you can kind of see a line like right here. That's where the actual inside of this is, so that's the edge where this goes. So I'll just have to line this up like so to get me to a point where I know where to cut. Put a line on this one, and hopefully I can just cut right through this. Grab some big scissors, and hopefully I can just cut straight through, and the light will stay working. So I probably have to seal the edge because this is like some sort of glue or whatever, so I'm assuming that's to waterproof the end. So I'm gonna cut that, and that should be it. Oh, and let me hook this up real quick so we can see what it looks like, because I haven't even looked at it yet. So, and this is just a regular, where we at? One of these things. So it comes with the halos sometimes. Well, not the halos, but like RGB strips. So this is how I test stuff out to see how I like it. But this is what we got. Pretty decent for this to be, it's in the shadow, but it's daytime. It still looks pretty good. So night, this should look pretty dope, and it'll be hooked up to the brake light, so it'll only be on when I stop. But let me go ahead and cut that side, put the cap on, and then I guess it's just 3M, stick it down, and the wire will have to tuck through here, which is what I don't like. So it'll have to kind of be in like so. So I'm not a fan of that. So I'm like I said, this is just a test run to see how it is. But if it ends up being something that I really like, I think I can maybe pull the wire out of this cap and like maybe tuck it straight down, drill a hole to put it in. If I find, like, if I come back around and this is the way I really want to go for like full time, at least that way I can, you know, tuck the wire in without it being seen, like even a little small piece like that. So yeah, let me go ahead and cut this and get it stuck on. All right, so good fresh blade. I was able to cut this thing, so nice smooth cut. Now I can put this cap on, but I guess I'm gonna fill this little hole with some silicone, let it sit for a second. But yeah, it's cut, so I'm gonna seal that up, and we can test this out, and hopefully the light still works, because if not, then we got us a waste of money. All right, there we go. So light still works. Perfect. A little dim right here, but that'll be covered up once this piece goes on there. So it's all good. So yeah, let's fill this thing up with some silicone, put the cap back on, and it'll be time to peel this tape, this 3M, stick this thing on. This is like the best multi-purpose sealant or whatever. So I'm using this on everything. So this is what we're using for this too. All right, so just clean this up with some alcohol. So rub this, get it nice and clean, and time to peel this tape. So the spoiler is on. The only thing I don't like is, well, for one, I don't like the fact that this edge is angled instead of straight with this. But I mean, I guess it's got an angle somewhere. So this is kind of what you got to deal with when you got like a universal fit product or whatever. So you can see the curve when it goes here. So like that, I don't quite like. Small stuff, but you know, I noticed it. So it's a little different curve right here, just a little bit. But most people shouldn't be that close to really notice it, but just something to think about. So it is a universal fit product, so you're gonna get some universal fitment in there. But it is on. The black is a nice gloss, so it's good. The color is nice, and it works. So that's also another plus. So the product does work, and it's listed as a spoiler or a roof spoiler. So really, you could put it up here, and on the roof part, you know, little stuff like that really wouldn't matter. So it'd be, for the most part, straight across, no curves, anything like that. And probably look real good for a roof spoiler, real low key. But yeah, so real small, not quite noticeable. And like I said in the other video, I don't have any black accent, so my plan, if I keep this, is to paint it white, and just to be like just a small touch, kind of like the spoiler on the like the 96 Impalas, where it's just small, just barely there, like a small lip spoiler. Like I don't really want a big spoiler, don't want the LTZ spoiler, any of that. So I like the small stuff, the low-key stuff for this car. So this will probably be painted white in the next couple weeks or so. But I'm gonna go ahead and get all this off the trunk and show y'all how we're gonna wire this thing to the brake light. So once you got the trunk open, of course you gotta take this liner off. I got one of these. You just gotta get all of these push-in tabs out. So these should be the last two. Alright, so that's out the way. Now you got your brake light, which is this plug right here. 2 wires. I'm assuming that the light blue is power and the black is gonna be ground. So all you gotta do is splice into these, which I'll get to right about here. So I splice in right there. I'm gonna pull this around, and when I get it around, the same way I got these wires are here taped up, which this was from when I had some lights up here in my trunk design, which of course I don't have anymore. I took it out, but I'm just gonna kind of tape this wire up along all of this under the trunk lid so it'll stay put. And then I'll do something similar like right here to kind of keep this flat to where it doesn't flap around too much. But yeah, so splice into this and I'll put the lid back together and hopefully it'll look as close to factory as possible. All right, so everything is mounted. This is all that's showing. So it's not bad. I still don't like it, but it's not bad. It's not real noticeable, but pop the trunk. But yeah, so you got this one wire coming in, but after that, everything is covered up. So you're really only dealing with a few inches of visible wire. Hopefully this doesn't cause any leaks, because I know water is going to run down this thing, but hopefully weather strip stops it. And if not, hopefully it soaks into this and, you know, it's enough to where I can notice it and do something about it before it leaks a whole lot in the trunk. But let me find something to sit this phone on so we can see it actually light up with the brakes. Alright, so that's that. This is the spoiler. So Opt7 universal LED spoiler lip kit. It's like $40. You can do it for the trunk, or you can do it like a roof spoiler. If you do the roof spoiler way, you'll just have to run your wires in between this glass and the body, and then run it to the brake light. But that's it for that, and I will catch y'all in the next one.